Hello and welcome back to the Passport to Crime podcast. I'm Oakley, your host, and this is part 4 of our 4-part investigation into one of the most iconic and heartbreaking stories of the 20th century. This is Behind the Tiara: Scandal, Silence and Survival, part 4. But before we begin, as always, a quick disclaimer. This podcast discusses themes of conspiracy, institutional accountability, and unresolved grief. Listener discretion is strongly advised. All quotes and accounts are sourced from verified public records, interviews, and published biographies. The crash in Ponte di Alma tunnel in Paris was ruled a tragic accident, but for many, the official story raised more questions than it answered. In the years that followed, theories exploded across tabloids, television, and the internet. Some were wild, some were plausible, and some were rooted in Diana's own fears. She had told close friends, and even written a letter to her butler, that she believed someone was planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury, so that Charles could remarry. That letter, written less than a year before her death, was chilling. Diana had already divorced Charles. She had lost her royal title, and she was increasingly vocal about her humanitarian work and her distrust of the establishment. Whether the letter was a cry for help or a warning, it became a central piece of speculation. Mohamed Al-Fayed, father of Dodi Fayed, was relentless in his belief that Diana and his son were murdered. He claimed Diana was pregnant, that the couple were about to announce their engagement, and that the British establishment could not accept an Egyptian Muslim as a stepfather to a future king. But post-mortem examinations found no evidence of pregnancy. Diana's close friends confirmed she was using contraception and had not mentioned any suspicion of being pregnant. Still, the theories persisted. A multi-year investigation led by the Metropolitan Police in England examined hundreds of separate claims. It involved interviews with witnesses across multiple countries. The conclusion? There was no credible evidence of foul play. The crash was caused by a drunk driver who was speeding to evade paparazzi. But even that conclusion left gaps. The driver's blood alcohol level was reportedly well above the legal limit, yet CCTV footage from the Ritz Hotel showed him walking steadily, appearing sober. Some theorists claim that the blood sample was swapped or taken from another body. French authorities conducted a third test using vitreous fluid from the eye, considered medically conclusive, and confirmed the alcohol levels. Others pointed to the absence of seatbelts. Diana was known to wear hers religiously. Why not that night? The inquest found that none of the car's occupants were wearing seatbelts, and that this contributed to their deaths. But the question lingered. Was it a lapse in habit, or something more deliberate? The role of the paparazzi was also scrutinised. Witnesses described photographers chasing the car, flashing lights and obstructing emergency responders. Some were arrested at the scene, others fled. The inquest jury ultimately ruled unlawful killing due to gross negligence by both the driver and the pursuing paparazzi. And then there was silence. The royal family's initial response was muted. The Queen remained at Balmoral with William and Harry. Public grief turned to anger. Headlines demanded compassion. It wasn't until days later that the Queen addressed the nation, calling Diana an exceptional and gifted human being. That speech helped mend the rift, but the damage had already been done. The Prime Minister called her the People's Princess. His words resonated because Diana had connected with the public in ways the monarchy never had. She was vulnerable, flawed, and deeply human. Her death felt personal, and her absence left a void that no institution could ever fill. The funeral procession was watched around the world. William and Harry walked behind their mother's coffin, flanked by their father, grandfather, and uncle. Harry later said, "I don't think any child should be asked to do that, under any circumstances." William described feeling numb, disoriented, and confused. In the decades since, Diana's legacy has only grown. Statues have been unveiled, documentaries have been released. Her sons have spoken openly about their grief and their trauma, and their determination to honour her work. Prince William continues her advocacy for mental health. Prince Harry has championed causes she cared about, including landmine clearances and HIV awareness. But the questions remain. Was Diana's death preventable? Could the paparazzi have been stopped? Should the royal family have done more to protect her? And why did Diana feel so unsafe in the final years of her life? This series has explored the emotional, political, and institutional forces that shaped Diana's story. From the fairy tale wedding to the fatal crash, we've traced the arc of a woman who refused to be silenced. She was surveilled, discredited, and let's say, very isolated. But she was also very brave, compassionate, and deeply loved. Not just by the press, but by a nation. Diana's story is not just about royalty. It's about power, vulnerability, and the cost of truth. It's about what happens when a woman steps outside the script and what the world does in response. Thank you for joining me in this 4-part investigation. If this story moved you, challenged you, or made you think differently, I invite you to share it. Diana's legacy deserves to be remembered, not just in headlines, but in our hearts. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, behind every crown, there's a story waiting to be told. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our Instagram, @the Passport to Crime Podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye for now.